Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. I have a crazy story for you. This little girl is special to us for several reasons. First off, she was my favorite offspring that we hatched in 2023. And she was hatched towards the beginning of 2023, which you may be asking yourself then, why is she so tiny? Well, um, over 6 months ago, I think might be going on 8 months now, she was lost. And to this day, I have no idea what happened. Her tub was closed. There was zero gap. You know, sometimes on these homemade racks, or even not homemade racks, there's a little tiny gap between the top of the tub and then the just the lid. It's not really a lid. The top, right? Surface of the rack, and they'll squeeze their way out or whatever. This was not the case. It was fully closed, and it was one of those tight tubs where you have to kind of like get it in and out. There's no way she squeezed out the top. And it was shut. I just went to do my snake check one day and she wasn't in there. And we've had animals get out before a couple of times, and we've always found them. You know, we've never had an animal go missing permanently, ever. In hundreds of animals that we've got, and however many times one has escaped its enclosure, we've always found them, right? Usually within a day. Occasionally longer than that, but usually within a day. Well, this girl was gone. A week went by. We're getting nervous. We're searching everywhere. And then 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is just a baby. She can't be gone this long. I'm leaving like little bowls of water out on the ground. You know, you do you put down the flour to see if you can see their trails moving through it. I checked the places where I had ever found them before when we've had a snake get out. Nothing. By the time, 3 months have gone by, I hadn't told my kids this, but I'm like, she's dead. A little baby ball python. It's just, she's gone. She's dead. And then, 6 months, whatever it is now, 8 months go by, and even the kids, well, I shouldn't say that. The kids never gave up. They never gave up. They told me all the time, she's alive, we're going to find her. They're praying, they're searching, they're always asking me, did you find her yet? But in my head, this was just a finished story. She was gone, and I was extremely bummed. By the way, her genetics, she is a Wookiee blackhead. Okay? Just so beautiful. Not super complex, nothing recessive going on. She's not carrying anything, but her color and her pattern to me are just perfect. I love this snake. And yeah, so that's where we left it. And me and Liz just moved on. Well, fast forward to yesterday, and I'm actually 2 days ago, I'm on a fishing trip, and Liz calls me up. They'd been rearranging some things, and they moved a freezer, I believe. And she calls me and she's like, you're not going to believe this. And I didn't know what was coming. I had no clue. And she's like, seriously, you're not going to believe this. And it was a video call, and she holds up this snake. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. She doesn't even look rough. She looks fine. Now, she hasn't been growing. So maybe she's found a mouse or two to keep herself alive, but she's real small. I don't know if this will stunt her growth permanently. I suspect she'll always be a little small because of this, but I mean, look at her. Look at her skin. Her body condition, even, she's a touch thin, but really not bad for a young ball python. She's not that young now. You know, she's pushing a year old, and she's still just a little bracelet. But I just couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. I was just in shock, right? So here she is. Her name is now Miracle, according to the kids, which I think is fitting. And I guess the moral of the story is don't give up when you have a pet escape, you know? She'd barely gone any, I mean, I'm sure in the 8 months she's been gone, she's explored all over this place, but we ended up finding her, oh, I'm looking, maybe 25 feet from the enclosure that she escaped from. Now, what happened? I don't know. You know, I had started to get to the point, and I'm not proud of this, but I was starting to be like, is there any chance that, like, someone we gave a tour to could have snatched her and then shut the thing real quick and put her under his shirt or something? Like, I was baffled. And all I can think is maybe, you know, one of the kids, or me, could have been me, was cleaning or doing something, you know, a full bedding change or whatever, and we pulled the snake out and forgot to close it all the way, and somebody else came in a few minutes later, sees an open tub, and is like, oh, okay, and they shut it. Maybe. I don't know. I'm struggling to put together how she possibly could have got out, how she's alive after that long. You know, we stopped putting water down many, many months ago, and ball pythons are not a desert species that goes months and months without drinking. She must have found something. If she did find some mice to eat, which judging by the look of her, she must have found something. I cannot imagine she went that long without food and is looking this good. But, you know, maybe she got into the walls and there was a little mouse or something. I don't know. But without water, I'm like, she must have found, you know, maybe under the freezer, you know, there's all those metal pieces. Maybe when those get warm, water condenses on them or something, and she could lap water off of that. I really don't know. She doesn't have a scrape or a scar on her. She looks in perfect condition. I mean, she looks flawless, honestly. If someone just showed me this snake, I'd be like, oh, that's a beautiful, healthy baby snake. Again, maybe a touch skinny. And I wouldn't know anything was amiss unless they told me her age. You know, I'd be like, oh, wow, that's a very small snake. Well, yeah, it turns out that if you take a snake right in the middle of their most rapid growth phase, they don't eat anything or hardly anything for months at a time. Yeah, they're going to be small. So we're going to get some food into her. If she handles it well, which I'm expecting she will, then we're going to feed her a lot. We're going to try and help her catch up a little bit, but we're not going to go extreme. It's not worth causing new problems. You know, we're going to let her digest and everything, but we're definitely going to feed her up and see if she can get some size on. But yeah, so all my techniques failed. Everything we tried in order to find her did not work. And then one day, completely unrelated project going on, there she is. And yeah, I'm thrilled, guys. I'm really, it was weighing on me a lot for two reasons. One, I had always been able to say, yes, we've had a couple animals get out, but we've always found them. And I couldn't say that anymore until yesterday. And two, just a live animal that I was responsible for had got out and in my mind was dead. Starved to death, froze to death, whatever the case may be. And that is crushing. And so I was just such a relief to find her. And yeah, that is all. If you guys ever want to hear some stories about reptiles that have got out that we've had to go find, I would be happy to make a video about that. But just wanted to share this awesome news. Pretty sure I brought it up in the vlog when she escaped, but that was, you know, that was a long time ago. And I don't know if I ever updated the vlog that, you know, we hadn't found her. So what a relief. I'm thrilled. All right, guys. That is all. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, we're the Reptile Barn.